Hi everyone. So I'll just wait for a few seconds more and then we'll start. So guys, we'll start the session now for the TSP spotlight session. So since the time RBI has brought GST under the ambit of account aggregator as an FIP, there were a lot of buzz around the use case possible around banking data and GST data put together. So we have brought in a TSP who has built some use cases around personal finance management and lending. We have a team, Think 360, and from the team we have Neha and Amaya. So Amaya will join in a few seconds. We have uh, Neha from the team. She comes with a 15 plus year of experience working with companies like ICICI, Experian, and ENY. She's undergraduate from in statistics and postgraduate from MDI Gurgaon. I think Neha, you can take over from now.
Thanks a lot, Abhishek. In the interest of time, let's start while Amaya joins.
Hello. It is still not working for me. Driving it from the same state.
Yep. Is my screen visible to everyone?
You won't get a response.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Uh, let me. So I think Abhishek, do let me know how much of time we have. I will work with an assumption that we have about 15 minutes to work with the slides. So the idea was we tell you what are that we are working on, and then take you through some of our slides. But I'll take straight away jump on our MSME work. Okay. So, what we did here is that we assumed that there are 3 or 4 data sources which are working perfectly. So let's assume that there are no account aggregator has worked well, and we have got bank statements which are savings account, current account, and GST and data is available. One of the data sources that we assumed will be available is still bureau data, uh, though dependence on that is lesser. Uh, but if all these 4 or 5 sources are available, what is that we could create is what we are trying to show here. Yeah. So,
So, hi guys, I'm joining in with Neha. Apparently, we are a tech TSP and yet tech is failing us at some point, but no worries. So yeah, uh, this is a MSME dashboard wherein, as Neha mentioned, we are working with 4 data pipes. We are getting in data from bank statements. We are getting a data from GST 1 and GST 3B. We are getting the data from bureau reports. Bureaus in all the bureaus, and we have created a holistic approach of towards creating users profile whenever it comes to MSME lending. Whenever it comes to MSME lending, we have like classified this into 2 parts. One is the company profile, and another one is the borrower's profile. We give all the basic details on the company as to their PAN and their GST in which we get their last GST return filed, uh, and on the borrower side, we give the co-applicant's name, their co-applicant's KYC details. We get the bureau from the bureau data. We get from how long he's been staying in the same place. So the stability, Yeah, this gives a complete holistic view of the users and the company and the businesses, uh, and the businesses.
Shall I talk? Yeah. Okay. So what we are trying, so if you look at this screen, it has got four patches. One is the customer profile. There is a CASA patch. There is a credit and debit analysis. There is a GST payments group, and then finally there are files that you could take out from the whole thing. One, as Mamaya mentioned, company profile is available. The borrower profile is available. Here, with the help of bureau, we are able to say whether he has been at the same location or not. That is also available on the GSTN data, and the score can be modified. It can be your own score or whatever, but you get a risk score that you could give to the customer. This we are using as our score. Uh, the line that you see below that is talking about our regional penetration of this particular company. So, as Shalini was mentioning, GSTN numbers, the first two numbers allow you the state that you're working with. So, this could tell you whether the company that you are going to lend to, does it have a pan India presence, or is it localized and hence has concentration risk. So the top four or five states are presented in terms of what percentage of business is coming from where. This is taken purely from the GSTN data. So you get to see where the business is running and whether it has a regional concentration or not. Once you're done with that part, you move to the annualized revenue of the last 3 years. That is again GSTN data, and you get to see what is the growth rate that the company has had, and you get to compare it, of course, with the GDP, whether it is running in the same way as the country is, and you get to compare it with the industry. So if even though while in let's say if with the country it is in good health, but when it comes to
Industry growth.
industry growth rate, it is not doing a very good job. You would be able to see that difference. Um, so those are the two things that we are trying to show in that table. Once you have gone through that, you could see as to what is the uh, total sales that you're getting from GSTN data and total sales that you're getting from bank statements. Idea is that you should be able to compare those two numbers. We would have liked to create metrics around what is the comparison looking like, what kind of deviation is acceptable or not. But for that, we will let the ecosystem become more mature. Without that and after that, maybe some more metrics around that comparison can be created, and that could be used as fraud checks, and it could be done perhaps without the GSTN 2 as well. uh, okay, and then we are seeing whether the operating numbers, this is from the bank statement, whether the what is the operating amount that one needs. Then finally we do a 3 or 4 comparisons across months. You can visually see that and see if there is a growth or degrowth, and what kind of consistency do you have for those uh, on month uh, for each one of the metrics. Um Now, when once you have done that, you can see there are 4 metrics on the bottom row. Amaya, do you want to
Yeah,
take them
sure.
through?
So on the bottom side, you see the basic assets to current assets to liabilities and investments comparison, wherein we have the total of current assets that we can get from the bank statements, the cash in bank that we can get from the bank statements, the investment made that we can get from the A data that we are getting from the bank statements. If the company has incurred any investments from the bank, that can be identified from here, and the total of liabilities that we are getting from the bureau. So this gives a complete overall view of how the business is performing in terms of their sales, their current assets, their cash in bank, and their overall liabilities. Whenever it comes to GST payments, so we also have one more chart here to show how the GST payments are being done month by month. So this can be seen for past 18 months. As we see, currently we are giving the data. We are showing the data for past 3 years, as we are getting the uploading the data and then ingesting the data and then processing and showing the output for past 3 years ka data for all the sales entries. All the GSTR one, from the data that we are getting from GSTR one, we are showing all the month wise CGST as well as IGST as well as SGST payments made from this business entity towards the government. Based on this, we can identify the overall performance of the business. So basically, to understand the borrower's profile, we get to see the annualized revenue and the taxable values that he's paying, the spread of the business, the velocity of the revenue that is being generated. Velocity, because we can identify the month on month change in the sales, the annualized taxable value, the timely change of the growth rate, whether it's a growth or a dip, the current assets and their investments, to total liabilities, and maybe hopefully in the future, if we get to see more and more data started flowing in, the current ratio as well, and the proprietary score that we have to understand the borrower's financial health. So the overall efforts on building this dashboard for the MSMEs to get easier credit is to help them understand their business's growth and and the underwriters to gauge their capacity to repay a loan.
Uh, and to our understanding, the GSTN data allows us as a triangulation point. We have a account history that we are getting from. So let's say a company has declared three accounts, and two of them being current account and one being savings account of the director. But if we see that the numbers are not matching, we see it as a good place where triangulation can be done, and a big ambiguity that the industry has faced as to how many companies that the director might be working with, or is the sales turnover matching or not matching. Those can be covered in one place within minutes, which usually takes us by the way, all these outputs that we're showing you are backed up with. So let's now take our time to show you one more page. Um,
Stop sharing.
okay. So yeah, just let's go to the GSTN pages. Yeah. Now, if you look at, let me unshare and reshare again another presentation. Make it into a PPT, PDF, yeah, to share, or no, we'll have to show it at PPT. I want to be sure that
This
it
is a
has
PPT.
that.
Yes, it is. It is.
Let me. Okay. So this is the slide that I was. Yeah. Yeah. So there are four data sources which are now available, which is bank statement, GSTN data, and mutual fund data, and the insurance data. Mutual fund data and insurance data, we are still in the process of really analyzing and getting to see how will it finally look like. But the first two have now flown in, and when we are looking at that, the idea is that with GSTN data, we should be able to do more fraud checks, and because bank statement analyzer is giving us something, we should be able to add more fraud checks to it. And so GSTN for us is leading to another 150 odd variables on top of another our initial about 1000 odd variables. uh, Now let's look at what it would have compared to a PL customer, PL onboarding. Basically, on the cash flow analysis for PL, you see their salary inflows, but in this case, you would be dependent on their turnovers. Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Any more? Let's move to questions now.
Neha, I don't see the questions from the audience yet. But so, do you have anything else to present?
You can walk them to the screen floor.
So, what maybe we can do is, Neha, if you can just share your contact details here on the chat, so that anybody who has some question maybe may can reach out to you guys directly,
Sure.
right? And maybe we can end this session if there are no queries. So, thanks Amir and Neha for bringing the use cases here. And definitely, if anybody wants to have more queries around what has been presented and what are the pain points they are addressing, they can reach out to them, and they can, and by virtue of the email in note, the invitation you have all got, you have my email ID as abhishek@sahmati.org.in. So you can also share us and ping us anytime. Maybe thanks everyone, thanks Neha for coming and presenting. Thank you all. I'll end the
Thank you.
session now. Yeah, thank you.